Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review from Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 16. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, child, let's get into it if we're going to get into it. 9 days until decision day. So it's time for the couples retreat. Listen, somehow they have made the couples retreat a snooze fest. Like, how do you make the couples retreat a sleepaway camp, honey? It's a fool. So anywho, it's time for the couples retreat and Jasmine is excited for whatever reason. So then we see Gina and Clint talking about mountain air and no bears. Then we see Kirsten and Shaq dropping a few Married at First Sight bars. Okay, y'all keep y'all day job, okay, because the rapping is not it. Chris and Nicole. So she's packing, and of course, no episode will be complete without a little bit of complaining. Do you remember when I was first packing my suitcase and I had to sit on it like this? Oh my God. Eris is also complaining. I'm like, okay, y'all getting on my nerves, child. Y'all are getting on my nerves. So he's saying that, you know, he's ready to go on this retreat. He's ready to go on this getaway. And Jasmine is saying that she's hoping that they're going to get over some roadblocks and increase their intimacy. Oh, Jasmine, ever the optimist. Ma'am, y'all don't even hug each other. He needs an alarm on his phone just to text you. But you're hoping that the intimacy grows. Okay. So the gang's all on their way. And Eris and Jasmine are in the car. In his mind, who's always on sex, except for with his wife, he was like, yeah, you know, I don't want a room next to Chris and Nicole or Shaq and Kirsten because there's no telling what noises we gonna hear. Now, Shaq and Kirsten ain't about to be hitting on nothing. But Chris looks like a screamer. No, I'm just kidding. Chris looked like a screamer. So you might hear a little something from them. On the way there, like I said, they're in the car and they're telling each other about what they've learned from each other. That y'all don't like each other, but what else is going on? Moving forward. Over in the car with Chris and Nicole, they're trying or not trying to talk about their living situation. So she wants to talk about it. He doesn't. She doesn't want to live separately. He, on the other hand, is like, you know, we still have our own places. So, you know, we'll just take our time. Sir, y'all are married. Okay, it didn't work for knowing them and it ain't gonna work for y'all. He does not want to live with her. I'm sorry, he doesn't want to live with her. There's no sense of urgency and I don't feel like he's fully committed. Okay, I feel like Chris is going through the motions, and as the season is progressing, I'm starting to see him get a bit of cold feet, and he ain't fooling me. She wants him to put some pep in the step and he's like, nah, we can wait. So now she's pissed. Eris and Jasmine. So they get to the Airbnb first, and it was really nice. It was actually a beautiful Airbnb. I was like, okay, I gotta go to Tennessee. This is beautiful. Meanwhile, Clinton, Gina, and Eris and Jasmine, they're all talking about bears, honey, lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. Eris goes to Jasmine because they're outside looking, and she's like, I wonder if there's bears here. And he gonna say to her, well, if there's bears, you know, you have to flash the bear in order to live. Sir, this ain't Mardi Gras. Every time he gets on a vacation, he want to talk about sex. But when y'all at the house, you don't want to be bothered. You don't want to talk to her. You don't want to touch her. You don't want to dance with her. You don't want to text her. You don't want to hug her. You don't want to kiss her. But on vacation, what's your favorite sexual position? You know you got to flash Smokey if you want to live. No, Eris, only you can prevent forest fire. I'm sorry, y'all. I couldn't resist. Oh, honey. So Gina and Clint, they finally arrive. Hey, y'all. They're trying to find their rooms. It only has one bed. It's giving awkward. So Clint is like, I'm really worried because, you know, we haven't made it past the friend zone and you ain't going to make it past on this retreat. And Gina will be sure to remind you every chance she gets that you guys are friends. Oh, baby, you ain't got what I need. Clint, you are just a friend. Honey, I had to remix it because Gina will let you know it ain't happening, Captain. Over with Kirsten and Shaq, they arrive next. And so Kirsten is putting her real estate lingo to the test because they walked in and Shaq was looking at the restroom. And he goes, oh, there's a bathroom and a shower in here. She said, it's a wet room. I know that's right. He said, oh, is it? I didn't know that. Well, she could teach you a thing or two if she didn't have to travel behind you everywhere you went. Okay, maybe you could go to one of her home openings or one of her showings, and then you can learn a little bit about your wife. But anywho, there's a little bit of tension between Chris and Nicole because they're last getting there, which means they get the worst room. I think it's going to be a problem between these two. I really do. She's in a pissy mood. He doesn't want to talk about the living situation. She's like, you know what? I'm really going to try not to be a Debbie Downer. I'm just going to go through the motions. She's like, I just really feel like we need our space, but we have to interact. So I'm going to put on a happy face and I'm going to interact. Why did y'all wait until now to talk about your living arrangements? Y'all have been in that shared apartment for almost 8 weeks. Like, I don't understand why you're just now talking about it. So they all take a shot when they get there because they're ready to get the party started. Eris gives a toast. Tonight there's going to be a pageant amongst the husbands. So everybody disperses to get ready. All the men are getting ready. For whatever reason, Jasmine is lotioning up Eris's ashy ankles. Don't touch his ankles, girl. Let him lotion up his own damn legs. See, that's the problem now. You're doing too much for too little in return. So anywho, she is lotioning up these ashy ankles. All the men are getting ready. Eris looking very average at best. Gina is complaining about Clint's hair. She's like, you know what? Let me just give you a little bit of a sleeker look. So she gave him a man bun. Now, don't get me wrong. That man bun made Clint look like something. Gina, you might be on to something. Because when I saw him with that bun, I said, oh, well, hello. Clint, nice to meet you. Clint really looked nice. Over in Shaquille and Kirsten's room, he has on his Sunday's best and, Dapper Dylan. All the women are giving them tips on how to win. Jasmine, you should have home court advantage, but we shall see. In the next scene, they're all out there waiting for the men to come out, and Jasmine lets us know that there are 2 phases to the pageant. The first phase is a competition for the best outfit, and then you have the on-stage questions. So first up out the door is Eris. So he comes out the door. He really think he's Rico Suave. So he goes over to the women. He's like, can you take a picture of me? And I'm going to airdrop it to y'all. I'm like, boy, go on. Have a seat. Please pass the mic. Sir, have a seat. So then after he does that, he's been a little bit of extra. And Kirsten was like, oh, Eris is really cocky. He needs to go. So then Shaq sachets on out. Hey, here go Nicole. Shaquille didn't really know what he was doing. He didn't know whether he was coming or going. He was a little bit all over the place, but he looked good doing it. Leave that man alone, girl. You don't know that man. Chris came out and he was giving Rick James with that wig. I said, what is happening? So then they started passing this wig around. It was a whole fool. Shaquille put it on that bald head of his. He had no wig cap or no wig grip. So baby, it was a little bit slicker than a snicker and it fell off the back of his head. These people are crazy. And everybody was laughing. I was like, this is just too much. So then baby Clint came out with the chest hair on full display and had on that dang on leather jacket. I said, give it to him, Clint. Now I would have preferred that he waxed that chest because I'm not for the chest hair and whatnot. But baby, Clint was really feeling himself. He didn't have on no suit, but he did come out as Clint. And Clint, you looked good. That little bun was giving everything that was supposed to be gave. And I am loving the confidence. Y'all know what? Without Clint, this season would put me into a state of sleep every week. Now I'm almost there with Clint. But without him, I don't think I would be able to continue on. I just really don't. Now on to the question portion. So the question was, what would you do if you were a marriage counselor? And Clint said that he would tell them to learn to love themselves because if you love yourself, then you can pass the love on to your spouse. Shaquille said, you have to really care about yourself first. Take yourself into consideration and then you'll be able to love someone else. I don't know what Chris and Eris had to say, but all the answers were giving BS. The next question was, what would you do to fix the divorce rate? So Eris said he feels like nobody should be married before 30. Shaquille said he would give free marriage counseling to all married couples. Clint said there would be a penalty for divorce where you would have to give up all your things. Clint, please. Gina, get ready to hand over the keys to that salon. You hear me? Because I know you're going to say no. I know you're going to say no. And Chris was like, I feel like we should give people a stipend and they should buy their family something nice. I was like, what are you talking about? What does that have to do with the divorce rate? Now I'm going to tell y'all what I would do. Okay, now this is just me, and I'm really trying to figure out how to get it passed as a law. Now y'all listen to this. What I would do is, you know how you have your driver's license and you have to renew your driver's license ever so often, honey, every few years or whatever, your milestone birthdays, like 25, 40, 50, 60, whatever. I feel like with your marriage license, you should have a 5-year marriage license. Okay, and on your 5th year, you have to renew it. If you do not, you are no longer married. That would, I probably would put the divorce lawyers out of business, but I would for sure forget to renew mine. Okay. I would have been forgot to renew it, honey. It slipped my mind, honey. Nothing could have warned me, not even Alexa. I just feel like the marriage licenses should be renewable. What y'all think? I really feel like they should be null and void if you do not renew them after a certain amount of years. I feel like this way people can reevaluate their relationships. You can see if you want to continue forward, if that's the best thing for you. Now, it could cause a little bit of confusion, but baby, that's what I would do. But maybe that's just me. So the next question is, do they still believe in traditional marriage roles? So Eris is like, well, you have to define the roles in your own marriage because women are doing it for themselves. They're CEOs. But if a bear comes around, I'm going to protect you and whatnot. Now hold that thought. He said if a bear comes around, he will protect them. Let's get into it. Moving forward. So it's time for deliberation, and they have to rank the men 1 through 4 on each category. So the runner-up is Mr. Courageous and Outrageous, Clint No Eastwood, and his leather jacket. Now, I feel like Clint should have been rated a little bit higher, but maybe that's just me. I'm a little biased when it comes to Clint. Second runner up is Mr. Style and Swag. That's Shaquille. And the winner is Airhead. Mr. Couples Retreat 2022, Eris, and whatever that piece and chain is he be wearing, child. So he won. And I just want to say right here, right now, that I demand a recount. Okay, that's number 1. Because what were the requirements? It was rigged. It was a plot and a scheme that Jasmine came and set up to come at us with the bullshit. It was rigged. I demand a recount, honey. So y'all listen to this. Jasmine gets in the confessional. Polar tink tink. And she's like, I was a pageant girl and I was looking for my king, and he is literally right here. He is the winner. He is a king. Okay, Jasmine, don't get carried away, honey. Clint should have won if we really want to be real. So after the pageant, they're all doing video cams, and Kirsten was like, one of the guys made a great point about offering marriage counseling. Shaquille said, that was me. Kirsten really got that pretty little head up in the clouds at all times, honey. She don't know what be going on. Ma'am, your husband is the one that suggested that. She don't bit more like Shaq than a man in the moon. So Jasmine is taking pictures of Eris like he's Jet Beauty of the Week. He's like, don't call me Eris. You need to call me PK. I'm the pageant king. I will call you court jester and you will answer. Over on the other side, it's time for bed, and Gina and Clint have to share this bed. It's given head to foot. Okay, it's given awkward and stay on your side. 8 days until decision day. So it's the next morning. Shaquille took a video of Kirsten getting her snore on. Ma'am, you sounded like a mountain bear. You might need to do a sleep study. I said, oh my goodness, honey. And baby mama was tired. So Eris tells us that he meditates in the morning. And him being the selfish, self-absorbed person that he is, he did it without Jasmine. She was a little bit perturbed and she kept it to herself, but finally she said something. And he was happy that she spoke up about it. So they eventually went back outside and they meditated together, because he was like, you can never get too much meditation or prayer. So we're going to do it together. All right, that's a baby step. Moving forward. Eris like when they holler at him and cuss him out, and he's toxic. Y'all know who Eris should have been matched with? Since he like him feisty, he should have been matched with Michaela. I bet he would have never asked for another confrontation as long as he lived. I'm just saying. In Chris and Nicole's room, he set up a scavenger hunt, right? Chris, I hope this hunt leads to an apartments.com pamphlet, because you're deflecting at this point and we really need to figure out where y'all gonna live. Okay, you're trying to put up these Post-it notes, but is it leading her to a leasing office or not? So she's going through to find all these notes. And I did think that it was a very sweet gesture with a lot of thought, but there was no prize at the end. I was like, where's the prize? Like, what did we just do this for? Where is the prize, honey? Where is it? So they get past that. She thought it was very beautiful that he set that up for her. Y'all know how Nicole like to do. So then we see some footage and there are bears everywhere. When I tell y'all I would have been freaking out. I don't do smoky, honey. I don't do none of that. I don't do bears. Eris, honey. You did all that talking about you protecting people from bears and you were heading to the border as soon as you saw those bears. Clint had to go out there and see what I was doing. So production was like, Clint, would you protect your wife and the house from the bear? He said, I mean, if it came to blows, I would uppercut one. I believe him too. Now, he might end up on the news, but I do believe him. Moving forward. In the next scene, Shaq and Kirsten go tubing down this slippery slope type thing. And they're on these inner tubes and it's some kind of like icy slide and they're doing it for the first time. She was a little bit nervous. And Shaq was actually shocked that she was nervous because she's done everything. And it looked like it was fun. I really do need to get to Tennessee so I can go down that slide. Like, I mean, I tend to scream, so I will be kind of loud. So I'm hoping that there wouldn't be a lot of people there. But it did look like loads of fun. He said that was the most challenging thing that they've done. Is it? I thought the most challenging thing would have been that sandpaper you was rubbing all over our elbows and everything else. But anywho, Kirsten brings up decision day. And says the communication is lacking and it makes her uneasy and she's wondering if they can grow and work on it. Kirsten, girl, not you setting it up so you can say no on decision day without guilt and you ain't fooling me. These two are taking turns not being able to stand each other and it's working my nerves. Okay? Both of you are coming up with things to say no on decision day. But see, you know how they like to play in our faces. And I really feel like in the end, that Kirsten is going to say yes. This is just the kind of season that I feel like this is. I feel like Kirsten is going to say yes and Shaquille is going to say no. Those are my thoughts. Clint and Gina. So they go on their little excursion. I think they're going on a moonshine roller coaster. This, of course, is all Clint and Gina, and no outing would be complete without a little sip of moonshine. So they sit down, they start talking. Clint starts to bring up the roller coaster that is this relationship. And she was like, yeah, the visit with Dr. Pepper put everything into perspective. Like, the day to day. And I really enjoy spending time with you. So Clint was like, yeah, I also enjoy spending time with you. Aw, the besties. He said, yeah, it's like changing scenery. I really love that. Like the mountains, and then he hit her with the SAT word. He said the ungulation. She said, what does that mean? Clint, you better give us a word of the day, honey. Clint has a very vast vocabulary. It takes a special woman to speak their speech with Clint because he utilizes the hell out of that word of the day calendar. And baby, y'all can't hang. If you don't know what cantankerous means and ungulation, then you may get a no on decision day. I'm just saying. Eris and Jasmine. So they go on a date rock climbing, right? Baby, Jasmine scaled that wall real good. It was giving Spider-Man. When I tell you Jasmine was already up that wall, here go Eris. I mean, I know she a cheerleader and I didn't think she was going to climb up like that. I mean, I salute you. Congratulations. Boy, shut up. So after they sit down and talk, she tells him that she feels like he's putting in effort, but she wants more of them engaging with each other, more conversation because he's always on his phone. Didn't I tell y'all? Just like I said, he's always on that phone, but he needs to set a text reminder to reach out to her. Child, you can let him play with you if you want to. So he tells her, if that's what you need, just tell me. Tell me to get off my phone and I'll get off. She shouldn't have to tell you to get off your phone if you're engaged in what she's saying. She's like, well, yeah, I'm going to correct that because in my other relationships, they've told me that I haven't spoken up either. Y'all better figure it out because I'm ready to wrap this thing up. It's like the 9th hour and here y'all come. It's 5 minutes till decision day. It's too late for all this. It really is. It doesn't matter if you tell him or not, Jasmine. He isn't into you in that way. He is coasting right now, waiting for decision day. Let me tell you something. We all know Love is Blind just wrapped. The same producers that produced Married at First Sight produced Love is Blind. all of us sat by for weeks watching Kwame and Chelsea be awkwardly obtuse in all of their scenes. Everybody's like, oh, Kwame's going to say no. We were so convinced that he was going to say no, and he said yes. I am convinced that Eris will say no. And I think that he will. But again, you just never know, because they like to hit us with, a curveball at the very end. So anywho, all the ladies are sitting out on the deck. The guys are cooking dinner. So Clint is like, yeah, I want to hear about y'all's sex life because I'm jealous. So Eris is like, I ain't got nothing. I ain't doing nothing. So Shaquille gonna say, we're keeping it to ourselves. It's just between us. I'm just happy that it happened. How y'all keeping it to yourself when you sat up at that table last week? Jasmine and I consummated our marriage. Now all of a sudden you keeping it a secret. Boy, goodbye. Outside, Gina is telling the ladies what Dr. Pepper said. Blah, 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 blah. Sis, you don't like that man. Inside, Clint is like, yeah, we're taking it day by day. Step by step, day by day. He's like, we're still, assessing. It's a no. Eris is like, yeah, I'm trying to put in the work. And, the weekend definitely helped. But I don't want to get to the end and have regrets. We've heard it all before, Eris, okay? Jasmine is telling the ladies they're working on progressing, and she's thinking that they are making progress because he let her know that she needs to speak up if there's something that's bothering her. And she feels like they're getting past that. She's like, but I just still don't know. And Jasmine is giving delusions. Honey, it's the delusions for me. Jasmine, wake up. Wake up, okay? I don't know what we need to do. I don't know how many other ways we need to say it. Inside, Eris is like, I feel like I would continue on if there's some type of spark. Like that would help. I need an aha moment. I need to see that it could work. Anyway, so Shaquille is telling them that Kirsten says she needs to get comfortable with him before they do anything. And she has this guard up, and now she's ready to let the guard down, and they're almost at decision day. And now he's like, wait a minute, I've been trying to do whatever with you since day one. Have you though? Both of y'all are Aggie AF, to be honest. And child, I know that ain't just me. So he said, yeah, I feel like if we would have been moving along further in the beginning, we could have been, way in front, doing more than Chris and Nicole. Why are you comparing yourself to Chris and Nicole? All that glitters is not gold. You and Kirsten have things that y'all need to work through. Outside, Gina asked Kirsten, where is she with her yes for decision day? And she was like, I'm in the middle of the road because of the communication. Girl, please. I'm not even going to play with these people. Shaquille is telling the men that he hasn't met her family or even her dad, and he's a family man. He's like, I'm not about to beg her, but I haven't met them. The fact that Shaquille hasn't met her dad tells me that she's not serious. She has all these excuses. Shaquille, just go ahead and cut your losses. Okay, it's a reason that she will not introduce you to her family. Y'all had sex, for God's sakes. You had sex with the man and you're married to him. But him meeting your dad is where you draw the line? Kirsten, be very for real right now. So they all come inside because it's time to eat. They all sit down to eat, and Clint is asking where are they with their, answers for decision day. So Eris starts to speak his speech. He said, I feel like we need to work on it. We aren't where we want to be, but, we do have the resources after speaking to the experts. And I just want her to speak up a little bit more. My intention is to become a safe space for her to speak her speech. Okay. A safe space for her to land. And even though the low moments have happened, it's been growth. He said, most people would have snapped and popped off and cussed me out. But, we've had some very tough conversations. Eris, it's me. I'm some people. Because I would have cussed you. Baby, when I tell you I would have cussed you out so good. I would have taken that fine and I would have been exiting stage left. He said, she hasn't done that. So I just want to say, I haven't done a great job creating a safe space for her to feel comfortable enough to speak up. So I just want to say I salute you. You could have left, but I just want to congratulate you for your strength. I just really salute you. So then Jasmine starts getting teary-eyed. Not poor Jasmine crying at him, putting her through the ringer and giving her props for taking it like a champ. Oh, man. Jasmine, I really want for you to want more for you. It's like anything he gives her, she holds on to it in hopes that there will be something different come decision day. She's so sweet, but I really need you to brighten up. I need you to toughen up, and I need you to brighten up. Moving forward. So Kirsten starts talking about their communication. Girl gone. Chris starts to tell them how they say, I love you. Okay. He and Nicole say, I love you to each other. He was like, yeah, I was feeling like she really needed validation. And I was starting to feel like it was something that I was doing wrong. But I feel like she needed to hear those words. So did you mean it, or did you just say that so she could shut up? I was a little bit confused. So then Gina comes talking about, we're stuck in the friend zone and it hasn't been a massive blow up. There are a little bit of, annoyances or whatever, but there's nothing that requires a divorce besides you not being attracted to him and you telling him every 2 seconds. So Clint was like, yeah, we have the charcoal. It's burnt. We have it out. We're trying to ignite something. Meanwhile, Negative Nancy, aka Gina, is like, if you force it, then it's unattractive. I didn't sign up for a friend. And he's my friend. No, you signed up to plug that salon and you ain't fooling us. In the next scene, Eris has to leave for work. He's like, I'm going on a work trip. What's her name? What is her name? All of a sudden, you got work trips, and I'm doing quotations, air quotes. You got a work trip? Since Shaq has a work trip, now you got a work trip? Okay, Eris, you can fool some of the people some of the time, and you can fool Jasmine all of the time, but you ain't fooling me. So she was like, yeah, I'm just really sad because we're just starting to make some leadway. And him singing my praises, it had me tingling a little bit because, now I felt seen. And I'm going to miss him in the bed. Why? Y'all don't even touch each other. What are you going to miss, hearing him breathe? Okay. So she walks him out, and I guess she earned a hug. So now she's like, bye, husband. We back on that. Moving forward. And girl, that hug was drier than a Popeye's biscuit. Paula Tink Tink, you really will accept minimal effort. I'm mad all over again. Jasmine, don't make me mad now. Girl, let that man and his pro-mobile hit the streets that he's used to. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. TLC said it best. Let Eris go back to the streets from whence he came. He ain't going on no work trip, girl. Anyway, I bet he don't call you now one time. I hope he set that alarm. So Nicole is talking to Chris, telling him that Eris jumped up in her book with what he said to Jasmine. So they're all getting ready for this 80s birthday party. And Jacob would have been in heaven. You remember Jacob from season 12, baby? He loved all things 80s. So Shaquille is like, yeah, I'm a 90s kid. I'm the youngest one here. Shaquille, you're 31. You're going to be all right. The fact that you had to look up the electric slide and the Running Man has pissed me off. And it didn't piss me off because you had to look it up. That was partly the reason why. But it just shows me how damn old I am. And the fact that, baby, at a good old family reunion, we gon' hit that electric slide. And, baby, MC Hammer made the Running Man a thing. I was in elementary school battling the girls, honey. You couldn't do that typewriter in that Running Man better than me. It was no competition. It just wasn't no competition. That's just a side note. So Clint is all excited about his birthday party. It's actually him and Nicole's birthday. Clint, this is an awesome theme. It really is. So everyone starts partying. So Jasmine joins the group and she's like, I'm just going to be the seventh wheel. I'm just going to pour the drinks because my husband's not here. Ma'am, this is no different from when he is here. Y'all act like y'all don't even know each other. So Gina goes, they're in the confessional. It's Gina and Clint. And she's like, yeah, Clint is going all out. Look at his eyeliner. He said, yeah, my look personifies the 80s. I bet Jacob is looking at this like I should have been on this season. Maybe Jacob's somewhere punching the air. Oh, honey. So then they do a confessional with Nicole. And even on Nicole's birthday, she gonna hit us with something sad. Honey, I guess it's your birthday and you can cry if you want to. She's like, yeah, I used to cry on all my birthdays because I was just reflecting on how terrible my life is. But now I have a new husband. I have new friends. I'm just happy. Are you sure you're happy? Girl, are you sure? So then Clint said, I love theme parties, and for Gina to accompany me, it makes us bona fide winners. Here she go. Well, Chris and Nicole look good too, but I mean, it's your birthday, so okay, I guess I'll give it to you. Gina won't even let him compliment them as a unit in costume. Ma'am, we get it. You aren't interested in Clint in that way, and you don't want him to get any bright ideas. But damn it, it is his birthday. For goodness sake, he's your made-for-TV husband. It is his birthday. You people are awful. And that was the end of the episode. Y'all comment down below and tell me if you watched this episode. If you didn't, I gave you a whole lot of detail and I watched it for you. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.